Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ho, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a little bit of a rabbit hole to go down. Now, the last couple days, PlayStation gamers got basically trolled, ladies and gentlemen. How did they get trolled? Well, for some reason, we've got a weird conspiracy theory going on in the PlayStation camp that a game known as Abandoned, apparently, might actually be Metal Gear Solid 6, Silent Hill, or something. Apparently, Kojima's running some deep cover CIA level operation, and this game might not be what it says. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we looked at this a while back where I talked about an insane Hideo Kojima Twitter conspiracy, and yeah, we're not really off the mark, apparently. This is just as wild as you would expect, okay? So sit down, get your Facebook mug of conspiracies ready to go, because this, my friends, is Blue Box Game Studios. Let's get down to it. Now, Blue Box's Game Studios, they've deleted some of these good old-fashioned tweets, but one thing that they definitely asked was, "Are you ready?" Now, I've seen enough cake farts to know where this is going. Now, let's go watch this 1.1 million viewed situation, okay? This is gonna blow your mind. This is what every gamer was out there waiting for 2 days after a bout of technical difficulties. This is what all of us were waiting for. Watch this. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at those footsteps. God damn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm about to nut for a second. Now, if you don't actually believe me, I did actually log into my PlayStation 5. I downloaded their 5 gigabyte, application, and I ran the little real-time gameplay engine demonstration. Basically, the only difference was instead of watching the Twitter video, your PlayStation 5 would render this floorboard with this character walking across. Now, I'm going to say for the record, it does look quite good, okay? The real-time render looked nice. Why this was causing performance and technical issues, I don't know. Maybe the ray tracer didn't work. Maybe those floorboards were just too nice and spicy for the PlayStation 5's GPU. I don't know. Things are wild. Demonstrating in real time. Probably DMC-able music. But it took them a while to get it set up, and yeah, it literally is that long. It took me way longer to download this 5 gigabyte application than it was to run it. It's not even a full 5 seconds, as you can see. Ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, everyone got trolled. Our expectations, whatever they were, as low as they could have been, were just not good. Blue Box insists they are 100% real as investigations finds history of abandoned projects. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now you might be wondering what's going on. Basically, this little PNG is floating around on the internet. And as you can see with this timeline, this goes all the way back to 2015. Quite a base year for the internet in general. Now, of course, be careful, Blue Box is a scam. So let's go look into why they're apparently allegedly a scam here. It's because they've apparently announced numerous games. Almost none of them get released. But I want to go down this entire list and sort of really get down to the truth of the matter, okay? Because this rabbit hole is a lot deeper than you'd expect. And it's just as much of a waste of time as you're going to expect, too. Now, thankfully, to our good friend Google, we're able to find out a lot of these projects. So here they announced in 2015 a horror game called Rewind, all right? Delayed the playable teaser for the game because of technical issues. Said it'll have VR, then announced they canceled VR, canceled Kickstarter, said the game development is on halt, and they'll tell us when development continues. Said they have a new project, announces that development is resumed, the game was never released, website was deleted. Quite a lot of heavy little accusations over there. So here I'm going to go look at Rewind. Now, the first thing I found was this thing called KickTrack, which actually archived sort of the entire Kickstarter, where they actually showed that they had 1% of the pledge goal before, I guess, everything got canceled. So here they say a dramatic, emotional horror game in a cinematic gameplay experience with high-quality visuals and audio. Oh, that's a word salad. Now, of course, if you go to the actual Kickstarter, the page is available, and here it is, Blue Balls Game Studios. Rewind will be fully funded by a private investor. This will allow us to achieve our goal within a short time span. A lot of people have taken the notion of private investor as Hideo Kojima. Look, I get it. Hideo Kojima's a weird guy. I played Metal Gear Solid 2 as well. I don't think Hideo Kojima would just throw money like this. I don't even think Hideo Kojima's got the kind of money to throw like this. But let's get down to it. The following footage is taken from a prototype version and does not represent the final product. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Let's look at that. Yeah, a lot of it is about, what is it? Cinematic horror games? More footage over here starts showcasing just ghost hunting, and I guess the visuals just really do look like they're generated in some sort of, like, what is it? Some sort of, just Unreal Engine software, like, very quickly, okay? Nothing here says that it's it's very pre-production. Now, the visuals look very pre-production. I would say that this reminds me heavily so of, like, if somebody took Shenmue, you know, and just, like, plugged it into the Unreal Engine. I mean, it's not, yeah, it's running on the Unreal Engine. It's very pre-production, as you can see, right? Of course, you can imagine it really didn't seem like it came out. I mean, I'm not seeing any release schedule for it. They definitely just kind of dropped the ball on this one. I will say, though, when you're already announcing the DLC within the actual Kickstarter, that's a bit of a red flag. I'm just saying. But it was a ghost hunting game, which, again, like, at the end of the day, it looks nice from the screenshots, but we already did get a ghost hunting game. Phasmophobia gladly came out. It is what it is. Rewind never really saw the light of day. But let's go take a fast forward into the future, 2017. So here, Blue Box announces new horror game, The Whisper, coming out June 2017. The game never came out. So to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I looked at The Whisper over here, and I really had to do a double take on this one because it turns out it was an Android game. I don't know if it was also an iOS game, but it came out apparently, or at least was out here for Android. Now, it cost a whole $1, which isn't really a lot of money at the end of the day. So here, according to their screenshots, they have console-like quality. Oh, every mobile game just goes and says that. It experienced cinematic storytelling. Again, I want to remember that the last game we looked at was about paranormal investigations, and cinematic storytelling is, like, basically what they want to achieve. Of course, they've got, more console-like quality. God bless. Can't get enough of that console-like quality, huh? Now, I couldn't really find any footage of it. I did actually end up finding an APK, and if I can get that to run, I may record footage of my own. But there is a YouTube channel known as 8-Bit Android Plays, who, because they play Android games, you bet your ass they played some Whisper. So, just to show you some gameplay over here, it does actually look quite good. There are upside-down T's over the fireplace to signify the spawn point for demons. And you are looking around. Now, of course, the frame rate's a bit low. I'm going to chalk that up to 8-Bit Android might not have the best Android system to play this, but it's got console quality like graphics, and I will say, like, hey, if you ever wanted to play Phasmophobia on your phone, this might be it. It's got an entire vibe going on, and it is what it is. But I will say, just from looking at this, it definitely doesn't seem like it just seems like your generic Android game. Okay, somebody made it as an indie title, and it is what it is. Then again, apparently it was only priced to be $1, so I'm not going to complain too hard. Now, I jumped the gun a little bit. I guess you could say I tried to blue ball you from the 2015 era, but they did actually have one extra game too, and I guess it just shows to you that it's another paranormal investigation game called The Lost Tape. Now, of course, the game you are trying to view has ceased development and consequently been archived. So, yeah, I actually had to use the Wayback Machine to view this page. Now, of course, if you look closely into the screenshots, actually, if you look down right over here, you can see The Lost Tape. No Rewind, Voices of the Past, one of their earlier games. Those who may have been following us know us by our... Oh, God, stop it. Know us by our cinematic horror game, Rewind. Rewind is a indie AAA game. What? Okay. With an emotional interaction between players and in-game characters presented in a cinematic gameplay. Again, I couldn't find any actual gameplay of this title. I didn't know where it was. But, it's like... Did Rewind come out? What happened? I mean, I guess Lost Tape came out. See, this is where the lines kind of blur. I don't know which games came out and which games really didn't. But this one also is supported in virtual reality, like Rewind, but it's not a AAA game, okay? And they estimate that they're going to charge like $3 to like $5, which... These are like cheaper indie titles that we're getting, all centered around the idea of paranormal investigation. Now, interestingly enough, there's a Reddit board known as the Blue Box Conspiracy of individuals who have sat down to uncover the real conspiracy of this one rando indie game developer. So here they showcase the first game, which is the Lost Tape or Rewind. So I guess it is like the same game from what I'm understanding. So here they're showcasing a Steam post where they mention Rewind Voices of the Past, and then they do Google searches, and this is where the plot thickens. So here one of the searches was Metal Gear Solid 5 original soundtrack. So I'm actually going to achieve the same thing. I'm going to go type in the Lost Tape game and see if I get the same result. And I do! Metal Gear Solid 5! So, yeah, apparently one of the links is Metal Gear Solid has something called the Lost Tapes in it, MGS5, where one of the tapes is 204863. So I guess it's kind of like some weird Easter egg or a link, when in reality, something like the Lost Tape is way too generic of a title to be naming. Like, this is not something anybody should be really peeking to hardcore. But they do mention something called 204863, which for those of you who don't know what that is, 204863 is actually an Easter egg of Silent Hill PT. Now, this isn't really a crazy unknown Easter egg. In fact, if you look at a lot of the developer footage for Metal Gear Solid 5, a lot of that pre-release footage, there was actually at one point the ghost Lisa from PT actually in as a decoy object in Metal Gear Solid 5. Now, of course, the only thing that ever made it into the final build of the game was a tape that you could pick up and play at any given moment. I don't know if that tape did anything special in the game. I might have to go back and check, but that was the closest thing. So again, people are linking it to Metal Gear Solid, which, like I said, listen, at the end of the day, the conspiracy is nice to get into, but I'm personally not sold entirely that this is like a Hideo Kojima hidden Silent Hill release. There's just way too much going on, okay? Kojima's a wild guy, but I think Death Stranding right now is as wild as we're getting. Now, of course, 2018 comes out, and this is where they talk about Unseen Faces. The game never came out. So again, I want to look at this thing called Unseen Faces, which I went to this actual Wayback Machine, and here we actually do have some footage, right? So they got some like footage on their website, and the game actually looks fairly good. I mean, for an indie game or whatnot. So again, Wetter, you're a paranormal investigator. Again, all their games are about paranormal investigations. In Unseen Faces, both parties can't be seen by each other and are both played by players like yourself. No Man's Sky 1.0? Okay. Including 5 game modes such as The Whisperer? Wait, isn't that like the game we just saw before? Huh. Man, it seems like a deep cover operation, dude, at this point. I'm just saying. But here they've got more references to like Unseen Faces, The Whisper, / Rewind. So it's like, I feel like it's not multiple games that they're not releasing. It's just one game that keeps getting rebranded. So now let's go to 2019, where they release something, or they release a broken mobile app called Tales of the Six Swords. So I went to the actual Facebook page for it, where like, this is Tales of the Sixth Sword, and of course you can see it's Blue Box Game Studios who's behind it. So here you can see they have 3 posts, alright? Tales of the Sixth Sword, new major update will be ready shortly. We can't wait for your feedback. Almost 3,000 users and growing. Then they share like a screenshot of what seems to be the game. And this is like it's looking a little too rough for my liking, I'm just saying. But then you go up over here where they said, we have temporarily removed Tales of the Six Swords from the Google Play stores to prevent issues with our release version. We're glad to have thousands of people actively asking about the game. But the wait is almost over. Thousands? Bro, you got like 23 people. Calm down with the ego there, Andy. Now, people have been looking at the screenshots for this, and something that's honestly interesting is some of the texture work that's used. Like, that looks straight up out of place. It looks like some LSD Dream Emulator nonsense. But then, look very closely over here. One of the trees that I think are used is people have been saying that this tree is from Fortnite. Now, I don't want to say that people have been ripping assets. I think that might just be generally placed in Unreal Engine. I'd have to check. But, yeah, this whole situation right here just screams like the weirdest, like, high school game development project I've ever seen. I'm not a game developer. I'm just saying. Now, of course, this led me to this actual APK support page where people are talking about Tales of the Sixth Sword, unreleased. So apparently you can download the APK and the OB, which are tools, which are basically the game files you can use to run it. But because the game never launched and they never got the launch update, it's literally just a useless application. I think this is all you can do is see a coming soon like page when you load up the app. I might try it afterwards when I'm post-editing, but I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. So yeah, once again, unreleased game. However, what's interesting is they've apparently allegedly stolen like character art for this. So if you go back to the Facebook page, one of the interesting aspects is this like character, right? So you can see how they've got this like anime like icon. But then you go over to this like image, and then this is like the actual like what? Look at that. Look at the eyes, right? See the eyes? That actually does look fairly close. Like, I mean, that is damningly close to what I expected. So, I don't know if the art's really stolen. It's weird. Here they actually said the art, apparently the official art, might be owned by JC staff, as all 3 Pixiv accounts that uploaded this picture at one point had their posts copyright striked and deleted. Oh, god damn. I don't want to get screwed. Unless JC actively partnered with Kojima, Konami, Bloober for this ruse to use Blue Box as a ghost studio to publish the new Silent Hill, MGS, whatever, which is extremely unlikely as they gain absolutely nothing, the picture wouldn't be used as an app icon for Tale of the Six Swords. It is blatant copyright infringement. Yeah, no big company is gonna risk that shit. Let me tell you, that's not something that happens. So here, in 2020, they released a horrible horror game. This is a very, very heavily inflammatory post. The Haunting on Steam in early access. The game receives 100% negative reviews. They removed the buy option. They say a big update is coming, delay the update. The update never got released. They quit developing and gave the game to Createch Interactive to finish it. This fake studio didn't finish the development either. So here's the Haunting Bloodwater Curse, which, like, here you can see in, like, the screenshots here. I can actually play the video for you a little bit. Battle system still in development. Graphical glitches might appear. Oh, shit. Okay, thank you for giving me a little bit of Fatal Frame nonsense here. So it definitely does look like... What the fuck is this, dude? It's like bootleg Fatal Frame, bro. As you can imagine, a lot of it is definitely in the vibe of Paranormal Investigation. Now, of course, you can see it got mostly negative reviews. Okay, mostly negative, but 27% of the 11 reviews were positive, which is a stark difference from the 100% that they mentioned in this document. Or picture. That's wrong. Now, of course, you can't buy the game. It's all pretty much gone. There are some like positive reviews, but a lot of people said no. From what I've seen, it reminds me a bit of Fatal Frame. A bit of it? We just saw the gameplay, dog. That's pretty much just Fatal Frame. I'm just saying. So then they have this company called Createch, who developed and published. So if we click on them real quick, that's the only game they've ever made and released on Steam. Now, I don't know if Abandoned will have its game development abandoned. Blue Box Game Studios has a weird history of game development where, like, they definitely want to make a paranormal investigation game, but for the life of it, the games just cannot stop being abandoned. Now, I'm going to leave this pun where it's at. PlayStation gamers got trolled. This rabbit hole led us down this scenario of weird game development. And in my final closing thoughts, do I think that we're going to get Silent Hill? Well, if we go back to the actual footage real quickly, one of the interesting things that I found is when the character walks around, you can kind of see by like their design, it almost matches a James Sunderland from like Silent Hill 2, which is the closest thing that I'm getting. Look, Blue Box doesn't help their case for avoiding these conspiracies. There are genuinely a lot of like weird links and like and coincidences that people are riding off of. On a realistic level though, Metal Gear is gone, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to get another Metal Gear game. Let's be nice about it, okay? It's over. Silent Hill fans, look, I love you. I want to get into your game. But we're going to have to take that fucking pill and realize the last big game was a dungeon crawler on the fucking Vita, okay? Alright, we need to have a goddamn therapy section for some of y'all. Now, we're going to end this entire thing over here. Do I think that Abandoned is just Silent Hill redisguised? No. Well, you know what I do hope, though? I do hope that Sony buys the rights to Silent Hills, or at least leases the IP for a few games and releases what should have been Silent Hills. Because you know what? We're missing out on a good time. I still play PT to this day on a PlayStation 4 Pro that I have sitting around. And it is a testament to, if Konami actually released that game, they would be printing the moolah. But I guess Konami is happy when it comes to like pachinko's running the day, and I guess we'll leave it where it is. Do I think that this conspiracy has merit to it? No. I think that in the world of big business, something like this just wouldn't really happen. You know, like, it's not that Kojima hasn't used like weird Moby Dick Studios to like promote Metal Gear Solid 5, but this is like way too far, all right? I actually do think this is a game that's worked on independently, and I actually do hope the best for Blue Box Game Studios. Like, all memeing aside, like, I know that I've joked around, but if they're getting close to releasing this and they've actually gotten some real publication, some real advertisement by Sony themselves, they better come out with a solid banger. And I am going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.